Hello, Buddhas. Today we are changing things up just a little bit, but we are also going to spend the time talking about desire. Now, Buddhas, don't forget, I've got a playlist down on the doodly-doo that you can binge watch. It's got about 200 videos in it at this point to help accelerate your spiritual awakening. And cheat codes, just skip the videos that you don't resonate with, but you'll come back because you know it's all good. Now, after you've commented, liked, and subscribed, we can get into the actual content, the meat, the juicy part of this video, which is desire. And yes, I'm sitting down today because we're doing it a little differently. That is what I desired, and I am fulfilling my desires. Because what is a desire, Buddhas? Desire is really not this big, bad, evil, negative, monstrous ego thing that we have to get rid of. That's actually a lie. Desire is the binding God force that keeps us here. I'm going to let that sink in for a second, and I'm going to say it again. Desire is the force that is actually keeping us together. Some call it the law of attraction, others may call it gravity, karma, blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of names, there's a lot of stuff, and it has different aspects depending on the language that you use to describe it, as most things do. But we're going to particularly focus on desire today because your desire is the bloody reason that you're here. Just actually get over it, okay? I desire to make fabulous YouTube videos, to share them with a billion Buddhas out there, to make a heck of a lot of money while I'm doing it because my time is valuable, and to help elevate the consciousness of anyone that'll listen. I'm not here to force any of this down your throats, by the way, so if you're not just go watch something else. But for those of you that are actually on the path and want to talk to a Buddha about how this is done, I know I don't look in the stereotypical way, but we're growing the hair out, we're pretending, it's getting better. The persona is shifting. Now, back on track. Buddhas. Desire is why you are here. So, perfect example. I think I've mentioned this before, but I desire to own a car. I desire to own a yacht. I desire to own a large home. I desire to travel around the world. There's a lot of desires that I have, and I'm just going to speak from the heart. The personal aspect here, the Alex of this Buddha billionaire, I desire to travel around this planet. I desire to do it in style. I desire to have incredible people in my life. All of these things. Now it's 2021, early 2021, so some of this stuff is not not currently very viable, but we're working on it. We're getting better and better every day, Buddhas. But the desire for these aspects of my life is something that I have suppressed and really pushed down for a very long time. I've been doing what I thought was the right actions, but were not the true heartfelt desires that I had. And I'm not saying that that's wrong in any way, because it's really pushed me into this position that I am in now, which is absolutely fantastic and I love it, to really come through and understand what I want to do with this world. And that is to be awesome and to help as many people, those who will listen, to elevate their consciousness. And a part of that journey with me is a journey through wealth, and to really bring spirituality and wealth back together where they belong, because there's this huge divide that doesn't make any sense to me. And let me explain that. If we are all spiritual beings, which I believe is the case, and if you don't believe, that's also fine, but watch my playlist because you might start to believe a little more. We are all spiritual beings, and everything here is made up of the energy of existence. It's hard to argue with that because everything is made up of something, and that something is the whole, the God force, if you want to use that word. It doesn't have to be that word. And with that said, all of it is one thing. So in demonizing any aspect of it, in denying the desire for wealth, for example, which is one that I'm really stuck on right now, we are denying an aspect of ourselves, and we are really pushing down and suppressing an aspect of the truth and the universe itself, and we can't get something if we're constantly pushing it away. So, there's a whole other video there. So, what I'm learning to do and what I want to share with you Buddhas is to understand the spiritual aspect of all of this, because it's incredibly important and incredibly grounding and reassuring to know that all of this is a part of whatever grand master plan there is. But also to understand that your desire to own that nice car is valid. Don't let any of the haters push you away. Don't let anyone who's in a position of feeling lack be like, oh, what would you want that car for? It's expensive. Like, don't let any of that. No, you desire that specific car, Gucci Buddhas, get it. Visualize it. I've got techniques, I've got all kinds of stuff linked in that video description that you can use to upgrade that aspect of your life. And the real clincher here is that it's entirely up to you to allow yourself to have what you want. To bring forth your desire is really the hardest work here, because the whole world seems to be set up in a way where what you desire is hard to get, out of reach, away from you, disconnected, too expensive, over there, not here. It's all an illusion though. So ultimately, we're getting into a situation here where you are able to make the decision to live in the end, to have what you want, to desire. And it's not necessarily easy to even figure out what it is that you desire all the time. But to get to a point where you are able to work with that and then allow it is that multi-staged process. So in this video, what we've been talking about is the desire for whatever it is that you have a desire for. Let's say it's spiritual enlightenment, great. Let's say it's to have a bunch of cats, fantastic. Don't let any haters push that away from you. Ignore all the haters. Rewrite the hate to be love, if it is in your life. Forgive it, move on. But allow the desire that you have to grow, allow it to build, allow it to come into your world, and recognize when you start to see it. If you see that car that someone else is driving that you really like, appreciate, recognize. If you see the person that you think is cute but they're with the partner, recognize, appreciate. If you see the animal that you want, recognize it and appreciate it, Buddhas, because that is your world starting to poke in, starting to show you different aspects of your desires as a part of the world, and the more that you see it, the more that you are bringing it in, and the more you can really refine what it is that you actually desire to begin with in the first place. Have we thought about that? I really like sports cars. It's a very vague desire, but if you see one in the particular color, in the particular brand, in the particular make and model, you go like, no, that one, I like that one. And then you can really bring that one into your being. So, Buddhas, at the end of the day, desire is why you are here, and we absolutely have to stop suppressing it and pushing it away. Because desire is the law of attraction, and it's what keeps us here, and it's why our molecules are even bonded together in the beginning. So, Buddhas, remember, at the end of the day, the most important thing is to love yourself. We're mixing it up.